This little girl was in huge danger, but her hero dog did this. Nothing is more precious than the relationship between a child and their dog. When this dog noticed his infant companion was in grave danger, he acted fast. Much to the horror of those watching, his rescue attempt looked like a vicious attack. The infant's mother was horrified and felt helpless as she watched from the kitchen. Of course, she thought her dog was trying to kill her baby. When she learned the truth, she could not have been more relieved. When you learn the truth, your heart will fill with all the feelings. Keep reading to learn how Conn's heroic act almost ended his life. When Catherine Sevilla gave birth to her first daughter, Charlotte, she wasn't sure if she wanted more kids. To make sure Charlotte didn't grow up feeling lonely, she adopted Conn, a German Shepherd rescued from an abusive home. Despite a warning that German Shepherds can sometimes be aggressive, Catherine had a good feeling about Conn. It helped that the large dog was scheduled to be put down in a few days. At the time, Catherine had no idea that Conn would repay her for saving his life in such an extraordinary way. The decision to adopt a dog turned out to be an easy one for Catherine. She had grown up with a dog and knew she wanted Charlotte to experience the same companionship. The loving mother also knew she wasn't planning to have another child. However, the tough part was deciding which dog to adopt. Catherine knew it was crucial to choose a companion that was good with children. German Shepherds, like Conn, don't always have the reputation of being family-friendly dogs. So why did Catherine take a leap of faith and adopt him? You'll have to keep reading to find out. When Catherine saw Conn at the animal shelter, it was love at first sight. She was aware of the reputation German Shepherds sometimes have, but there was something about Conn that felt different. When she spoke to the shelter staff, they told her about his abusive past and mentioned that he was scheduled to be put down the following week. Despite all the warnings, Catherine made up her mind and decided to save Conn's life. Somehow, in his own way, Conn must have known he had been given a second chance. When Conn arrived at his new home, it felt like everything was right with the world. Catherine introduced Conn to Charlotte gradually, knowing it was important for both of them to adjust. Once the bond was formed, the pair became inseparable. Conn followed Charlotte around the house, keeping a loving eye on her. He played with her in the backyard and even slept beside her. He acted as her bodyguard, which made what happened next even more shocking. Catherine could hardly believe her eyes. All she could remember were the warnings the shelter had given her about Conn's past. When Conn first arrived at the shelter, he was severely malnourished and in poor health. The staff had rescued him from a life of abuse and neglect. A purebred German Shepherd, he had been raised by a breeder and sold to a terrible home. In addition to being underfed, Conn had visible injuries, including broken ribs and scars that told a story of years of mistreatment. Some people at the shelter believed Conn might never recover emotionally and might lash out at any moment. They warned Catherine about adopting him, especially since she had a baby at home. The life-changing incident happened while Catherine was watching from the kitchen, unable to act in time. Conn and Charlotte were in the backyard when the dog began nudging the toddler. Charlotte ignored him until he knocked her over, picked her up by the diaper, and started thrashing her around. Horrified, Catherine ran outside as quickly as she could, but she wasn't fast enough. Conn flung Charlotte across the yard and let out a loud, painful howl. Just when it seemed like Conn was confirming everyone's worst fears, the truth came out, and it couldn't have been more shocking. It turned out that Charlotte was completely unharmed, and Conn's howl wasn't one of aggression, but of pain. After throwing Charlotte to safety, Conn limped toward Catherine and collapsed. Confused and terrified, Catherine found her focus and sprang into action. Suddenly, it wasn't her daughter's life that was in danger, it was her heroic dog's. With adrenaline coursing through her veins, Catherine managed to lift Conn into her car and rush him to the nearest veterinary clinic. Saving Conn's life became a race against time. At the vet, Conn received immediate attention. The doctor discovered bite marks above his right front paw. Conn had been bitten by a venomous snake while protecting Charlotte. The heroic dog had thrown the toddler out of harm's way, only to suffer the deadly bite himself. The vet administered anti-venom as quickly as possible, but there was little anyone could do except wait and hope for the best. The snake that bit Conn was identified as a venomous mulgus snake, commonly known as a king brown snake, one of the deadliest snakes in the world. Mulga snakes are native to Australia, a country notorious for its dangerous wildlife. Though the backyard was usually a safe place, no one could have predicted such a deadly threat lurking nearby. Thanks to Conn's quick thinking, Charlotte was completely unharmed. Charlotte and Catherine returned home that night, anxiously awaiting news about Conn's condition. Catherine admitted she couldn't sleep, terrified of losing the dog who had already become such an important part of their lives. The next morning, she returned to the vet's office as soon as it opened. To her relief, the staff informed her that Conn had made it through the night. Not only was he alive, but he was already showing signs of recovery. The vet expected him to make a full recovery, much to Catherine's and Charlotte's joy. This isn't where the story ends, though. Conn may have entered the shelter in the worst shape of his life, but his resilience and loyalty helped him emerge as a true hero. After the incident, the media caught wind of Conn's story, and he became a global sensation. Catherine was overwhelmed by the attention, but was grateful that Conn's bravery was being recognized. To the world, he was a hero, but to Charlotte, he would always be her best friend and protector. Conn's story became a testament to the unconditional love and loyalty of dogs. Despite his troubled past, he overcame his fears and instincts to protect the family that gave him a second chance at life. Catherine often said, "If Conn wants something, Conn gets it. We owe him everything." For the rest of his life, Conn enjoyed the love and appreciation of the Sevilla family. Thanks to Conn's heroism, Charlotte will always grow up with her best friend by her side, proving once and for all that German Shepherds are not just protectors, they're family.